to April's Art Club Live. We are online again. Hopefully next month we'll be able to do something in person in the back gallery behind AT Creative Space. But for now, I have got some great ideas for you to get out and about in the beautiful nature and create lovely art. So today we are making nature eggs. You can see them here. We have got a variety of different ones. So depending on what you have at home, what you've got collected, you can do it. So the items we're using today, you will need some cardboard, some paper, some paints if you've got them, glue. If you have sticky back plastic, that's great, we can try that one. Sellotape, and also you can see my tray here of all different nature items that I've collected. Quite a lot were from the park yesterday. As you can see, a few of my dandelions and daisies are looking a little bit droopy, sad now. But if you've collected some just this morning, they'll be perfect. Also, I've got a few petals here as well. As you can see behind me, I've got a bouquet of flowers. This is a great activity if your bouquet of flowers has got a little bit tired, you're about to throw it out. Actually, before you throw it out, keep them, take a few of the heads, and you can use them to make some great art. Okay, I think you might not be able to see the flowers behind me, but just imagine there are some flowers behind me. So to start off, we are going to go and create, this is a week-old nature egg, but still looking beautiful. We are going to create one of these. So get your cardboard. I've just got some box cardboard, but you might use a cereal packet, anything you've got. And you're just going to draw your egg shape, which is an oval, which just comes in a little bit more to the top of one end. But really, any kind of oval shape will do. So once you've drawn your egg out, take your scissors and you're just going to chop that out. Now you probably could technically do this on paper if you wanted to, but the cardboard just makes it stick a little bit firmer. It means you can move it around. Then you're going to begin to have a little think about what items you've got. So maybe collect a few that you've got. And I find to make an egg, creating lines works well, but you could do whatever pattern you want. So maybe choose, we've got a few flower heads there, we might try and stick them down. Definitely I've got a little bit of blossom, so I want to be able to use the blossom on this one. I've even got a few daffodils, so maybe a daffodil, that yellow might look nice. Just a reminder, if you're out and about, don't pick flowers that are growing out in the parks, but if you find that they've fallen, quite often you'll see some that have fallen, then you can use those fallen ones on the floor. It's a great way to reuse them. Now when I was out in the park as well, I found some feathers, so maybe a feather might look quite nice on my egg here too. And even a twig could be handy to create some layers. So I'm just getting a few different things that I might use for my egg. We've got a few more of those, and maybe even some leaves. I might add some green leaves onto my egg. So you've kind of chosen your flowers, you've got them ready, then you just need a bit of glue. I've got some PVA glue. You can use just a glue stick if you want, but I would say put the glue on thick. So really just whack it on, and you are going to need to let it dry, of course, but that will just keep them and it will preserve the petals a little bit more as well. So you've got your glue on, then you're going to begin to start creating your pattern. So you just keep gathering those bits, any bits that you've got. Think about the colours that you're using, what will work well together, what will contrast, and also think about the direction the petals go. So these are quite nice thin petals, so I can actually put them alternate up and down. This is going to create a really nice pattern there. There we go, we'll keep it going a little bit more. So I'm going to do this relatively quickly, so just to give you the idea, but you could spend even more time over it and just press them down, and you can see really nice pattern there. Now I'm thinking I might put one daffodil at the top and in fact put the other one at the bottom, can work nicely. There's my feather in the middle, which is nice texture. I might even add another feather the other way just to keep it covered. Another reminder for you, if you are out in the parks picking things up, do make sure you wash your hands afterwards really carefully, or use alcohol gel as well, because when you are picking things up, you don't quite know where they've been, so just be careful on that front. So there we go, getting all this nice purple in. And then in fact with my leaves, I've got quite a big leaf here. I'm going to rip a little bit of a leaf up to add in just some green at the bottom. So because it's quite big, I don't want it to take over. But a little bit of green there, a little bit of green at the top. And there you have it. You have got a lovely nature egg there with all sorts of things that you've collected from outside, whether that's the park or your garden or as you've walked along the street. Hello to everybody watching. I think it was somebody, Stacey, have you said hello? Great to have you here. Do, if you have any questions, just ask them in the comments in the chat and we will do our best to answer those for you. Okay, so we've made one on cardboard. I'm now going to show you how you can make a printed flower egg like this. So these can be quite abstract or they could be quite detailed. It depends on what items that you have to use, how much paint you use. You can really experiment and try. So on your paper, I will draw two out just to, in case we decide to do a few more. Now you don't need to be too neat to the eggs. If you're going to cut them out afterwards, doesn't matter if paint goes over the place a little bit. I'm glad you're enjoying the flowers. That is brilliant to hear. And I can't wait. Do share any images of what you create, what nature eggs you create. We would love to see them. So when thinking about printing, have a look at some items. So in fact, this dandelion head might be quite nice to print with. I've got this little bud that had fallen off some flowers, which looks like it might be quite nice to get paint on. I'm thinking some leaves might be good, and if you look for leaves on the back of them where the veins are, that's where you want to get the paint to see if we can get some stuff there. And then even some other leaves, we might do that as well. And I've even got some bark that we found in the park that's quite an interesting shape that we can have a go at printing and see. So I've got some watercolours here today. You could use poster paint, you could use acrylics, you could use watercolours, powder paint, anything you've got yet, really. So we are just going to start off, and you want to make sure if you're using watercolours, make sure they're really, really wet and give them a good mix up, because we're aiming for a really strong colour. So then you can either choose to paint onto your flowers, or you can have a go just pressing your flower into the paint there. So once you've got your paint on, have a go squishing over. So again, I'm going to do one that's lines, and then this one maybe I'm going to go a little bit more spotty. So I'm going to go all over the place. And you can see how it changes as you go. Once you've had a go, have a think and see. So maybe I'm going to do a flower. When you're thinking about colours, and we'll do two different ones, you could either go for similar colours that are all, so you could go reds, oranges, yellows, so they go together nicely like that, or you could choose to go contrasting colours. So with orange, I would choose a nice blue to make it really stand out. So as you can see, I've got paint on these and I'm going to have a go here. Just printing nicely, seeing how they come out. If it gets a little bit dry, just going to squish that flower in again and get it going. So you're getting all those details of the flowers. Now I think we might try this bark here for this one, and I'm going to do a contrasting colour over here. I'm going to do blue to see if we can get some nice blue ones. Now I've not tried this before, so this could be a complete fail, but as I say with everything, see it as an experiment. So try it as an experiment just to see. If you never try things, you never know how they're going to work. So as you can see, we've got some nice patterns coming out there, which is great. I wouldn't have, we'll see, get some more flowers in there maybe as well. So the leaf, we're going to go for a really yellowy colour on this leaf here. And maybe it might even, we might even get a little bit of hint of green at the top there. You can see the colours. So really make sure you've got lots of water on there to try and get a full colour, and we press down. Now these prints, you can build them up over time, try different things. Okay, so that's quite wet. It might need another print on top of that one. We'll try another one down at the bottom there, see if we can get, but you can see the leaf shape, maybe not quite so much detail of the veins in the leaf, but you can see the leaf shape. Now I think we might try and go for a really big flower in the middle here, do a really nice pink colour. So I'm going to get my pink all wet and just begin to start painting right there, and then in fact I'm just going to get those leaves, try and get it. If you've got a tray or you've got some more room, you might want to really spread out there, but once I've got enough, I'm going to press it down, press those petals down at the edge, make your big flower print. There we go. And then I think we might just want a hint of blue, and in fact what I'm going to use for that, I'm going to use the side of a dandelion. We'll use a dark blue, and we're going to just press that into there and just see how you can get. So you can use the heads of flowers, you can use the petals, you can use the sides of them, you can use all sorts of different ones there. So as you can see, it's making some really pretty patterns there, and I wonder whether we'll try and print. We've got some, yeah, we've got a little bud here, that might be quite nice to print with. You might find that some of the flowers fall apart a little bit, but that's okay, you just see what you can get. So we've got that kind of bud shape, and we'll do some more prints there just to build up that pattern there. And really whatever you find, even a bit of grass could be quite nice to create a long, let's go for yellow, just print on that and have a go, see which ones print well. We've got some nice lines there, and what patterns you can make with all your flowers and your petals. Brilliant! I look forward to seeing what you have done. We'll set those away to dry. So there's my two designs there. Now I'm going to move on to, so this is, if you've got some sticky back plastic, you can make a little egg that kind of preserves what is there. So you might have gone and collected a load of items and then actually you want to preserve them. These make really nice window hangings, so you can put them on your window. They still let light through, kind of like stained glass. So we've got this sticky back plastic left over from the beginning of school, and I'm just going to fold it onto the paper side, because that's where you want to cut out 2 egg shapes that are exactly the same size, because we're going to stick one onto the other. So there, I'm just drawing out the egg shape, and then I'm going to hold carefully the pieces together to cut out. That's it. Quickly cut out, see if we can do it. It may take a couple of attempts to get one that you make, but have a go. So once you've got one pair of eggs finished, take one and you are going to peel the back off. And very carefully, once you peel the back off, set it down so the sticky side is up, smooth side is down. And then this is where you begin to collect items and place them on. This is a really good technique if you've got very delicate little flowers there. I've got some daisies. So you don't want anything too thick and heavy, because of course we're going to seal it together with the plastic. So just light. I'm going to put some pink petals at the top. Think about what you want your egg to look like. Is it going to be stuff all over, or is it going to be different layers of things? I've got a couple more nice little white blossomy ones there. I'll just add them on. And in fact, I'm just going to swap those 2 around to make it one alternate yellow and white. And we just add that last one in there. So I've started at the top, and then I'm going to continue down. If you want to do a twig, I would say just do a very thin light one, because you don't want to make it too thick, but you can add that in. And then think about how you line things up. So here I'm going to use these little helicopter seeds from the park. They've been around quite a while. They're rather old, but actually provide a very nice middle bit to there. And then I might use these purple ones to intersperse. So when you're putting this together on your bit of sticky back plastic, just make sure that you're leaving an outer rim, because when we put the one on top, we want to make sure that there is some plastic that will be stuck in. We don't want to have nothing there to stick, so you do need to make sure you're leaving the plastic clear. Don't kind of pile it on as you might have done with the other egg. You want to leave that plastic clear. So I'm thinking I've got a daffodil there. Maybe we'll put a daffodil just at the bottom there, and then we'll filter just a little bit of blossom in around it. So it's kind of fanning out, the blossom is fanning out. Now you can do these as eggs, but you could do a much larger one. You could do a whole A4 one, and this is not limited to spring. You could do it at any time of year, whatever nature things you find. So I've got my egg. Make sure I'm going to get it the right way, I think. If it doesn't line up exactly right, don't worry too much, because you can trim it off a little bit afterwards. But then we're going to peel it out, and I am just going to set it down on top. And this is where you really need to just squish everything down. So not just around the edges, but you want to get that plastic squished in. And it's preserving. So these can last for a really long time. They can last. And as you can see them on both sides. It's a really pretty way of capturing beautiful spring nature. So finally, maybe you haven't got any nature items with you in your house right now. Maybe you've just been watching this. But what you can do, and this is my one which is from a week ago, is create your own sticky egg that you choose to take out with you when you go on a walk, and you can add items as you are walking along. Great for little kids. You can even tape it to their hand. I will show you how in a minute. And that's a brilliant way for them to actually collect items as they were out. So like we did in the first place, we're just going to draw an egg on a piece of cardboard. You can choose how big you want that egg to be. If you're thinking about attaching it to a little person's hand, maybe don't go too big. And then you just want to cut that out. So cut that out, and then we're going to use some sellotape. If you don't have sellotape, you could use a bit of glue, but of course that's quite sticky and can get stuck on things. So don't worry too much. Now the trick with sellotape is always to try and find the end of it, which can take a little while. I'll just do a little shout out to Gulnaz. Hi, I think you're watching too. So again, I look forward to seeing what you create. Okay, I've got my sellotape on. And in fact, if you cut just a little bit, and that's where we are going to stick that on. So the sticky side is outwards. So as we wrap it round, it is not going to be sticking on unless that sellotape there works. So this can take a little bit of time to work out, but really what you're doing is you're doing reverse sticking. Reverse sticking on the cardboard. So just keep it wrapping around. You probably can't hear anything, that noisy. Try and go in all directions, so you go up and down. So you're just wrapping up that egg in sticky tape and then chop that off. And this means when you go out, you can stick items to it. I've actually realised that the sticky tape was going the wrong way for most of that, so mine is not very sticky, so I'm going to do it again. So Stacey, I think you're talking about doing something with cherry blossom, which I think is a great idea. Cherry blossom is so beautiful at this time of year, and in fact you get so much of the cherry blossom falling off the trees that you want to capture that and make something with it. Okay, so I'm nearly there with my sticky. Really sticky. And this is where if you've got a young person, you could just stick it to their hand as such. So when you go out, so maybe when you get to the park, have it stuck to their hand, and then that means as you go, anything you find in the park, flowers, it could be little seeds, daisies, leaves, you can just stick them on. So you are collecting feather, you are collecting items as you are walking around the park. I've got all sorts of different things, maybe even a twig, and that all sticks on. Got another leaf there, some nice petals, and you can just keep on sticking items on even a dead daffodil head. And this you can just keep sticking till all that stickiness is gone. Keep it going on, keep adding bits, and you will have a beautiful nature egg made up of all the things that you found while out in the park. And then when you get home, you can carefully slide your hand out, and there you go, you've got a beautiful nature egg. So that is 4 ways that you can make your own nature eggs using the beautiful nature that's around us. Remember, don't pick things, just find stuff that has fallen on the floor. And then we would love to see pictures of how you've displayed them where you are and enjoying the spring. And we would like to wish you all a very happy Easter, a happy joy. Get outside, make some beautiful nature art and share with us what you've done. Thanks very much for watching, and we will see you soon, hopefully in person. Bye.